My entitled SIL told me I am selfish and inconsiderate after watching her cat in my home for over 2 weeks. So I've been watching my sister-in-law's cat for the 16 days during Christmas and New Year's. I have very limited time to do so because I have 6 pets of my own to take care of while also working full-time. Plus her cat stresses my own cats out and they act out when he is around. I agreed to do so because I had no choice really and I am a cat lady, so I did it for her cat ultimately. I had no choice because my sister-in-law asked 2 days in advance. She was leaving the state for 2 weeks and she asked me and my husband, her brother, to watch her cat because he wasn't up to date on vaccines and couldn't fly with her. So fine, I agreed, and I did so nicely, not reluctantly, and she paid us $100. We picked the cat up from her, and she lives 30 minutes away from us. She sort of acted like $100 was a lot to do this and she could boss us around on when to come get him since she is paying us. For me, it was just in case he needed something because $100 isn't much to watch a pet that long and even pick up the cat for her LOL. Plus, I wasn't doing it for the money and it was over the holidays. I spent a portion of that buying him Christmas gifts for his stocking, cat lady I know. Anyways, she was supposed to pick him up Saturday. Ended up taking a super late flight back home instead and told my husband she'd pick him up Sunday now instead. We are supposed to get a lot rain and wintry snow mix on Sunday, and last year at this time we were snowed in from the ice storm for over a week. We offered to bring her the cat Saturday night to her house, 30 minutes away. When she got in and she got upset and told us no, she is getting in too late and will come Sunday. Her cat has been in his own room crying and scratching the door to come out. I give him attention and do let him out sometimes for a bit, but I have my own pets. I didn't want him to be stuck in a room alone for another week, crying, which is the only reason we offered to take him to her. So my husband said just come in the morning then, and she said she is going to come at 6 a.m. on Sunday, trying to be spiteful because 6 a.m. is absurd but whatever, and he laughed and told her okay. So we are expecting her in the morning, we are in bed and at 1 a.m. my phone is going off with alerts someone is at the door. I open it and see on the camera she is outside our house with a guy she has been dating and telling him he will have to take his shoes off when he comes inside because we don't wear shoes in the house. She says it to him, as if we are weird/embarrassing people for that. Meanwhile, I am in bed, my husband is asleep, and I look like crap. My friend actually passed away just 2 days ago and I've been crying a lot, not showering, not brushing my teeth, not brushing my hair, so I'm not in any place to be answering the door right now to this random dude I've never met. If it was just her, that would have been fine. But this random dude works at the same company as me, and given the line of work I do, our paths will cross soon. I care a lot of my career, and I work very hard to maintain professional relationships to ensure we complete all the technical work that is needed, so I didn't want to answer the door for the first time to this guy with oily/tangly hair, red eyes, no makeup, and in my PJs. I wake my husband up, and he is in shock she is here with him at 1 a.m. He calls her and is like, WDH, it is 1 a.m., and we are literally asleep, and she said just bring her cat. He gets mad and says, okay, this time I will, but never ask me for anything again, and she says she won't angrily and hangs up the phone. They have the same fight all the time, but we just keep doing stuff for her anyways. He gets dressed and tells them to wait in the car, and he will bring the cat out and I get the cat in cage and pack up all his stuff. Now the cat is gone, I am laying in bed and watch the full video of them at the door, and she is essentially bad-mouthing us, saying we are rude to not just open the door and welcome them in, and she would never do that. Almost shit-talking us, it feels like, about us being a shoeless house. Saying my husband always acts like this and making fun of him to this guy. Essentially acting like we are the problem because she showed up unannounced at 1 a.m. Also, she kept ringing the camera doorbell very aggressively, and she rang it 4 times while waving at the camera smirking. Also, I would never bring a stranger over to her house, especially not at 1 a.m. or unannounced. Plus, I don't want just anyone from where I work knowing where I live. My sister-in-law claims to be a super private person all the time. Won't share any details about herself to people, so she knew what she was doing. She also knows her brother. My husband has drawn a pretty clear boundary about not wanting just anyone in the home. I don't really care, I'm more friendly than that, but I would want a heads up first. She could have just had him wait in the car and come to the door by herself given the circumstances. I just feel she is extremely childish, selfish, and rude. She's literally older than both of us too. I kept holding back from going off on her or sending her a nasty text, but I did finally send her this. I don't appreciate you talking badly about us outside of our home to your friend. We have to all work together, and it's incredibly rude to bring someone to our home and paint us poorly. I took good care of Scruffy for the last 2 weeks, gave him time I don't have, bought him gifts, made sure he wasn't scared and got attention. We offered to bring him to you since the weather was going to be bad tomorrow. I was worried it was going to icy, and he would be here even longer. He's been miserable and crying/yowling, and I felt bad and didn't want him to end up having to go another week feeling that way. My friend just died, and I've been crying non-stop, so I'm not in any place to be welcoming unannounced visitors into my home. I care a great deal about my professional image and work hard to maintain good relations at work for my job. I'm extremely upset with you for acting like we are rude people to your friend, or even believing that yourself after all I did for Scruffy and ultimately for you these last 2 weeks. So is she right? Ada, for not letting them inside? Was my text rude? Ada, if I cut her off completely? This is not the first nor the last time she will behave this way, and I am tired of it. And I usually don't care what people think of me, but it bothers me that someone from where I work is now involved in this random drama she brought to our front door step. Edit. She responded with this: "Thank you for taking care of Scruffy while I was away. I did not agree with y'all asking me to pick up Scruffy last night, knowing that my flight was arriving at midnight. I felt like Scruffy wasn't wanted there for just a few more hours for me to pick him up in the morning. Y'all didn't think or care about my safety and how tired I must be from traveling and working on the house before leaving. Again, I wasn't surprised with your selfish and inconsiderate requests as always. I even paid y'all to take care of him and provided all his necessary items for his stay. My friend was caring enough to pick me up from the airport so late, who lives further than y'all, and even take me to pick up Scruffy. Also, Scruffy has nothing to do with a friend dying or whatever situation is going at your house." Wow. So it escalated, and I called her a mean and horrible person. That for her to carelessly bring up my friend dying that way shows how selfish and mean she is.